To that end, spectators are asked to support their team in a positive manner and treat opposing fans and players with respect. Profanity, racial slurs, or otherwise unruly behavior will not be tolerated, and violators will be removed from the facility. We thank you in advance for your cooperation. Usually at this time we have a free foul ball sponsor, and our free foul ball sponsor tonight is the San Luis Obispo Blues. So if a foul ball goes into the stands and you're able to grab it, you can take that home courtesy of the San Luis Obispo Blues. And to throw out the first pitch for us tonight, representing the San Luis Obispo Blues, is our Assistant General Manager, Nico Calancini. Nico is coming out to the mound. The mound, Nico, is that brown bunch of dirt right there in the middle of the field. Okay, there he goes. Okay. All right. Turn it down while I'm reading this. All right, now Nico, don't throw the ball just yet. Don't throw the ball just yet. I've got a little bit of a story to tell you about Nico that the front office has asked me to talk about. Nico started with the Blues in 2019 as a promotions intern, so he was picking up trash and doing the dizzy bat and all of that. 2020, he worked for the Dodgers as a sales associate. 2021, he ran the beer concession here for us. Then in 2022, Nico took over as the assistant general manager. So he's been assistant general manager for the Blues since 2022. That is about to change. Coming to the mound right now is our president and owner, Adam Stowe, who is handing a ball to Nico. And I would like you to join us in congratulating Nico Calancini, our new general manager of the San Luis Obispo Blues. All right, boss, show us what you can do. Thank goodness he's in the front office. All right, congratulations, Nico. Thank you very much. And to quote Adam, you've earned it. All right. And now the starting lineup for the Sonoma Stompers in tonight's contest. Leading off will be number 28, Caden Dosa, followed by number 30, Jack Scarry. Batting third, number 19, A.J. Carter. Batting fourth, number 8, Luke Rossi. In the 5 spot, batting number 15, Kyler Zukowski. Then it's number 33, Jack Vanoncini. Batting 7th is number 21, Brady Boyd. For the Stompers, batting 8th will be number 40, Jack Lazart. Batting 9th, wearing number 1, Trent Abel. And the starting pitcher tonight for the Sonoma Stompers, Bryant Thornton. Ready? Yep. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the starting lineups for your San Luis Obispo Blues. It's kind of wrapped through that thing. Leading off, wearing number 50, playing center field, E.J. Royal. Batting second, wearing number 24, the second baseman, Brayden Jeffrey. Batting third, number 10, third baseman, Brandon Comerford. Batting cleanup tonight for the Blues, wearing number 4, left fielder, Bryson Royer. In the 5 spot, wearing number 45, the catcher tonight, Arthur Goff. He's followed by number 27, the right fielder, Jordan Lewis. Then number 2, the designated hitter, Giovanni Blanchette. In the 8th spot tonight, number 22, the first baseman, Zach Tollerman. And batting 9th, number 14, the shortstop, Sam Argon. Starting pitcher tonight for the Blues is the right-hander, number 29, Logan Brock. The Blues are led by Dean Traynor. He is assisted by Brian Traynor, Rene Regalado, Mason Alex, Matt Slover, and Robbie Lardner. And ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem tonight will be sung for us by Jennifer Eckerman. We would ask you at this time to kindly stand and please remove your hats. Jennifer?
The boys are back in town, ladies and gentlemen, here at Sinsheimer Stadium after what was a pretty cool moment just a few seconds ago. Nico Calancini, the current assistant general manager for the Blues, throwing out the first pitch and was eventually promoted to GM of San Luis Obispo. Adam Stowe gave him a signed baseball in his name, promoting Calancini to the official spot, and now he will take over next year as head of operations for San Luis Obispo. So pretty cool moment as he got to throw out the first pitch as we welcome you back to San Luis Obispo as the Blues finish up their 5-game road trip. And now they start a new homestand here at Sinsheimer in Game 3 against the Sonoma Stompers. Hello everyone and welcome inside the broadcast booth. My name is Nate Mills, returning to the mic after Ryan Giacomini did a great job filling in for me in the 2 away games with the Sonoma Stompers. But we're back, and let's take a look at the starting lineup for both sides today. Let's look at the defensive alignments for San Luis Obispo first. Behind the dish, it's Parker Goff at first base, Zach Tolliman. Second base, Braden Jeffries. At third, Brendan Comerford. Sam Ardois at shortstop. And in left field, it's Max Lane, E.J. Royal in center, and Jordan Lewis in right for the Blues. And on the mound for San Luis Obispo, making his second start, Logan Groff, the right-handed pitcher from Fresno State. Now let's meet the batting order for the Sonoma Stompers. Asa batting second, it's Jack Scarry. Batting third, A.J. Carter. In the cleanup spot, it's Luke Rossi. Batting fifth is Kyler Zukowski. Batting sixth, it's Jack Vanensee. Batting seventh, it's Brady Boyd. And batting eighth, Jack Lazard. And rounding things out in the ninth spot, it's Trent Abel. Blues coming into this game riding a 2-game winning streak. They won the 2 games against the Sonoma Stompers. And the past 2 times they played each other, they're 4-1 on the road after dropping that 1 game to the Santa Barbara Foresters back on Friday, a 9-2 loss. Kind of the first game where the pitching blew up a little bit for San Luis Obispo. But now here's first pitch underway from Logan Groff, who delivers it right at 6:04 p.m. on another gorgeous night in San Luis Obispo. Tonight's first pitch temperature, 70 degrees and sunny. Really just couldn't ask for a better evening here at Sinsheimer. Groff comes home, and the slider is in there for strike 2. So up early 0-2 is Logan Groff against Caden Dassa, the leadoff hitter from Yale. He stands in there in a slightly open stance against Groff, who comes on the 0-2, gets the swing and a miss to begin the game for strike 3. On 3 pitches, Caden Dassa is retired on strikes, and we got our first out of the ball game. So now up for the Sonoma Stompers, it's Jack Scarry, a Creighton Blue Jay who is entering his redshirt sophomore season next year. As a native of Peru, Illinois, he's got 17 at-bats so far this season for the Stompers, only 2 hits to show for it. One of them is a double, though, drove in a run. Fastball from Groff, missing upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Some pretty similar records for both of these teams heading into tonight's contest. As the 1-0 sent to the right side over the jumping effort from Jeffries, and there's the first base hit of the evening for the Sonoma Stompers. Comes off the bat of Jack Scarry. Real solid piece of hitting, and it was just over the jumping attempt from Jeffries. I mean, an excellent effort. That's really all he could have done. Is this nice solid lumber, lands right into Jordan Lewis, in right field, right in front of him for a base knock. So now a runner at first, 1 gone after Caden Dassa struck out, and Jack Scarry with the first base hit for Sonoma. First pitch missing up and away for ball 1 to A.J. Carter, the Bulldog from College of San Mateo. Carter, the only lefty for the Sonoma Stompers this evening in the order. As the 1-0 comes home and is in there for a strike. Fastball clipping the outside corner for Logan Groff. And the same sentiment goes for the Blues as well. They also only have 1 left-handed batter in their lineup in Braden Jeffries this evening. Although Bryson Hoyer is a switch hitter, batting in the 4 spot after a last-minute lineup change for San Luis Obispo. As this one's fisted up to second, flip over to our draw, throw to first, in time! 4-6-3 double play, and that'll end the inning after a strikeout, a base hit from Scary, and a double play from A.J. Carter. We head to the bottom of the first, scoreless on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the first, and now would be a good time to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind, and that's people. So now after the Sonoma Stompers are retired on a strikeout and a double play to end the first inning, and the first inning of work for Logan Groff, who had his first start against the Academy Barons last week, we'll now introduce you to the defensive alignment for the Sonoma Stompers. Behind the dish for Sonoma, it's the catcher Jack Vanancini, and at first base it's Brady Boyd, second base Luke Rossi, at third Jack Lazark, and at shortstop it's Trent Abel, left field Jack Scary, center field Caden Dassa, and in right it's Kyler Zukowski. Leading thing off for the Blues, it's E.J. Royal, who takes a look at ball one outside. Royal, who's been the most productive hitter for San Luis Obispo in this early season in Game 15 of action. As the 1-0 loops in there for strike one. E.J. Royal has just been doing it all, leading the team in hits, in average, in RBI, and triples. He's earning himself an 1,100 OPS. There's 2 balls and 1 strike to Royal, as we'll introduce you to Blues lineup. So batting leadoff is E.J. Royal. Batting second, Braden Jeffries. Third, Brendan Comerford with his 14th start of the season. Fourth, it's Bryson Hoyer after a last-minute change, as this one's squibbed to the right side and off the glove of Rossi. Quick throw over to first, goes away, and E.J. Royal is in there safely. So after Rossi booted the softly hit ground ball at second base, he yanked the throw over to Boyd at first, and E.J. Royal is aboard safely. Looks like they'll chalk it up as an error. E.J. Royal reaches on error to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning. As now Braden Jeffries, rocking the 24 this evening in the blue jerseys, steps up to the plate for the Blues. The only pure left-handed hitter for San Luis Obispo tonight, as that was taken for strike one. And we'll finish the rest of the lineup here. So batting fourth, it's Bryson Hoyer. Last-minute lineup change replacing Max Lane. Then it's Parker Goff, Jordan Lewis, Gio Blanchette, Zach Tollerman, and Sam Ardois rounding things out in the 9-hole for San Luis Obispo. That one's taken outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Braden Jeffries, who will spend his first year playing college ball at Ann Arbor next season for the Wolverines at the University of Michigan. 2 balls and 1 strike to Braden Jeffries, who made his debut playing against the Academy Barons last weekend for the Blues as a part of that 5-game road trip. As Royal takes out for second base, here's the throw down and the head first slide in time. There's a stolen base for E.J. Royal. That's his 10th of the season. And that speed for E.J. Royal has been an asset for the Blues, getting him in scoring position as soon as possible. Hasn't been known for getting the best jumps off his lead from first base, but he makes it up for those long strides over into second. As there's a 5-pitch walk to Braden Jeffries. Runners now at first and second for the Blues as Vanancini comes out to talk to his pitcher. And on the mound tonight for the Sonoma Stompers, it's Bryant Thornton, right-handed pitcher from Oklahoma Baptist University. Here's more on Thornton. He just spent his first season with the Vikings last year. He had 19 appearances, 42 and a third innings pitch for a 7.23 ERA. Looking to bounce back here in his summer season with the Sonoma Stompers. Native of San Anselmo, California. As the first pitch to Comerford is skied into right field. Moving to his left is Dasa out there in center. Comes up with it. E.J. Royals tagging from second, heading into third, and he will do so safely. So a nice base running from E.J. Royal. I thought he was going to fake break over to second base, but that ball was hit far enough in the right center gap for Royal to tag up and advance another bag. So after the heads-up base running for the Utah Tech Trailblazer, it's now runners at the corners here for Bryson Hoyer. So fly ball to right for Brendan Comerford. And runners now at the corners with one gone for Bryson Hoyer, switch hitter from Saddleback College. Fastball just missing outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Bryson Hoyer. Hoyer rocking the bright yellow cleats. He's also got the oven mitt, the shin guard. Gold, of course, one of the 2 colors representing the Bobcats of Saddleback College. After spending a season there last year, finds himself here at SLO and in a 2-0 count as he fists this one back into the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bryson Hoyer. Hoyer, a native of Paso Robles, just up the street here from Sinsheimer. And he redshirted his freshman year at LMU before transferring to Saddleback. Taking off towards second and fouling it away is Bryson Hoyer. Braden Jeffries wanted a stolen base. Waiting on deck, it's Parker Goff, the catcher from BYU. And in the hole, it's Jordan Lewis, the right fielder from Santa Clara. Last season for the Bobcats at Saddleback, just a 192 average. Did have a 327 slugging off 5 homers. As that fastball misses outside, now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bryson Hoyer. Hoyer on 20 hits, also had 11 RBIs for the Bobcats this past season. Payoff pitch. Taken for ball 4, and that'll load the bases for Parker Goff. So the Blues starting to threaten here early in this ball game. It's bottom of the first, and they got the bases juiced. 1 gone here for Parker Goff, who was one of the more dangerous hitters at BYU this past season. Goff, known for his power, this season for the Blues has only had 1 double on 4 hits. He's 4 of 15. That double did bring across a run for San Luis Obispo. But in his time out there in the altitude at Utah, he got to hacking. And last season he had 8 doubles, 1 triple, and 5 home runs. And a balk here from Brian Thornton, and that will be the first run of the ball game. Bit of an unorthodox way to strike first for the Blues, but hey, they'll take it. 1-0 San Luis Obispo over the Sonoma Stompers. And I looked down at my scorebook to record the walk of Bryson Hoyer. Next thing I know, home plate umpire is signaling a balk to Bryant Thornton, and a costly mistake for the Sonoma Stompers as they now trail by 1 off that mistake. So now the first pitch that Goff sees is in there for strike 1, an off-speed pitch. This past season with the BYU Cougars, 18 RBI off 29 hits. Second on the team and on base and in batting average. 0-2, missing upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to Parker Goff. native of Harriman, Utah. He was ranked the 3rd catcher in the state, according to Perfect Game, when he was in high school. Now he bats here, 5th for the Blues with bases loaded, and he pops this one up in the infield. Rossi coming in on it. He calls everyone off, and he squeezes it for the 2nd out of the inning. So after balking in a run, Brian Thornton gets the pop out from Parker Goff, and there's now 2 away here in the 1st inning. So now it's Jordan Lewis who's trying to hit his stride here with the Blues and try to find the barrels that we know he can. After slugging .411 with an average of .259 last season for the Santa Clara Broncos, he's just 4 of 15 with an RBI triple this season, as that one's taken for strike 1. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Jordan Lewis. A Roseville, California native. His 16th at-bat of the year as Thornton steps off. Lewis stays in the box as Thornton comes set. Here's the 0-1. Missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike as Lewis holds the bat by the barrel underneath his arm. And his feet stay planted in the 2 craters in the right-handed batter's box. 1-0 Blues after a run was balked in, and this one's half swung over to Boyd at first base. He'll take it himself, and the inning is over. So the Blues strand 2 runners on, but they do get 1 off a balk. And it's now 1-0 San Luis Obispo heading into the top of the 2nd inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Back for the 2nd inning as the Blues scratch across a run from a balk that brought home E.J. Royal as Logan Groff heads back out there. We saw Bryant Thornton, the starter for the Sonoma Stompers, give up 1 run, wasn't earned, no hits off an error, and the Blues left 2 runners on base. So it's a 1-0 ball game in favor of San Luis Obispo as the 4-hitter for the Stompers sends this one down the right field line, but foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to Luke Rossi, the 2nd baseman from the College of San Mateo. So as I said, Logan Groff made his debut last week against the Academy Barons. He went 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks, a hit, and a run. And that one's fisted down the first base line, but foul once again. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Luke Rossi. Rossi made the 2nd putout of the inning. Last time the Blues are up in the bottom of the 1st. As a native of Salinas, California, he is 1 for 7 on the year so far for Sonoma. And the slider, swing and miss, strike 3. There's the 2nd K of the day for Logan Groff, and the 2nd inning in a row where he begins it with a strikeout swinging. Real nice action on that slider from Logan Groff, and he made Luke Rossi go fishing for it. And it seemed like Groff was winning that entire at-bat. It looked like Rossi was trying to fight off all the pitches he was getting from Groff. And then eventually when that slider came, it was kind of had to swing at it. As Groff goes upstairs to Kyler Zukowski, the right fielder from Creighton. Here's the 0-1, missing upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike to the Madison, Wisconsin native, entering his redshirt sophomore season with the Blue Jays. So far this year with the Stompers, he's just 2 of 21, trying to find his stride here in Game 3 against the Blues. As missing downstairs is Logan Groff, 2 balls and 1 strike. Last season with Creighton, a pretty good amount of playing time, 26 starts, 39 games played, had 100 at-bats. As the 2-1 is in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Zukowski, who hit 3 home runs and 6 doubles out there in Nebraska last season. He's 23 of 100, 230 batting average for Creighton. And on the 2-2, this one's sharply hit up the middle. That's a base hit, the second of the day for the Sonoma Stompers. And deja vu all over again. This inning is looking exactly like the top of the first inning. A strikeout swinging and then a base hit. That's the way the top of the first and now the top of the second has started for the Sonoma Stompers, as there's now a 1-out base runner in Kyler Zukowski as Jack Vanancini steps up to the plate. Vanancini, a catcher from Redwood Shores, California, as he dodges out of the way of that fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Who has yet to have a college at bat. Redshirted his first season at Cal State Fullerton, has now since found himself as a Spartan at San Jose State. He ducks out of the way of that fastball. 2 balls and no strikes to the right-handed hitting catcher. But this season, he's 2 of 12. With 4 walks and 5 strikeouts. 2-0 in there for a strike. Logan Groff clips the outside corner on that fastball and gets the call from the home plate umpire. Seems like the zone for the left-handed and right-handed batters are pretty consistent. Home plate umpire liking that away half of the strike zone. As that 2-1 pitch is missing downstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jack Vanancini. He's got a run at first in Kyler Zukowski after singling up the middle. And a 1-out inning after Luke Rossi led off this with a strikeout, as that slider misses upstairs for ball 4. So now instead of getting the 4-6-3 double play like we saw in the first, it's now another base runner for Logan Groff. So Groff has already let up more hits than he did in the entirety of his outing against the Academy Barons. And his first walk of the day to Jack Vanancini, as Brady Boyd digs in there now and takes the fastball inside. And Parker Goff heads out to the mound to chat to his right-hander, who buries his face in his red glove on his left hand. Brady Boyd, a native of Santa Rosa, California, entering his redshirt freshman season with the Westmont Warriors in the fall of 24. Only got 1 at bat this summer. Didn't get a hit in that AB, but he gets an opportunity here with the Blues and a runner on second base. Slider just missing outside to Brady Boyd. And I just mentioned it seemed like the strike zone was going to be living there to both right and left-handed hitters. And based on that slider alone, it doesn't seem like it's going to be doing that anymore. Swing and a miss to Brady Boyd for strike 1. Jack Lazark in the on-deck circle as Trent Abel sits in the hole, a 9-hole hitter for the Sonoma Stompers. As Groff comes home, and this one's sent straight back just below the press box. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Brady Boyd. Runners at first and second for the Sonoma Stompers, rocking their all-gray unis tonight. They got the navy blue numbers and the navy blue scripture on the front side. No piping, no highlights. As he checks his swing on that slider, did he go? No, he did not. And I don't know, it looked awfully close to me. He looked pretty bought in on that swing on another wicked slider there from Logan Groff. But they appeal to first. They say he held up, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Westmont Warrior. Go-ahead runner at first base as Groff checks second, now comes home. That fastball's in there for strike 3. Brady Boyd gets caught looking. The second strikeout of the inning, Groff's third of the day. Now 2 outs here with runners on first and second for the Sonoma Stompers. And this one was piped down the middle of the plate. Groff was just offering him that fastball that had tons of two-seam action to it, tons of life. And that's what he can do best, is put up a fastball, as we just saw right there for strike 1 to Jack Lazark. That won't be flat. It's going to move around a bit. It's going to be difficult to hit. It's going to be difficult to pick up as a hitter. And certainly Boyd, Rossi, and Dasa had trouble as they all fell victim to the strikeout to Logan Groff. As there's a slider and a cut. Now no balls and 2 strikes to Jack Lazark. The Bronco from Santa Clara, batting in the 8 hole for the Stompers, and a native from Santa Rosa, California. No balls and 2 strikes from Logan Groff. Here's the pitch. Slider taken for strike 3. Logan Groff strikes out the side and strands 2 runners on for the Sonoma Stompers. Keeps the Slow Blues lead 1-0 as we head into the bottom of the second. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom of the order for the San Luis Obispo Blues after Logan Groff stranded 2 runners on, striking out the side for the Sonoma Stompers. It's still a 1-0 ball game. Slow Blues lead it over the Sonoma Stompers in Game 3 and Game 1 of a new homestand for San Luis Obispo as Giovanni Blanchette digs in and fouls this one straight back for strike 1. First pitch swinging from the outfielder from Fresno City College. Entering his redshirt junior year as a Fresno native, spent his first year of college ball at St. Mary's, where he utilized his redshirt. As he sends this one back into the screen once again, no balls and 2 strikes to Blanchette, who leads the team in home runs with 2. Had a mammoth shot here at Sinsheimer a few weeks ago, and then tacked on another one over the Academy Barons, a missile out to left field. And he takes all the way on that breaking pitch. Awfully close there. 1 ball and 2 strikes and Gio Blanchette, who's batting .315 in this young season off 6 hits. He's got 5 RBIs as well. 1-2 is chopped right in front of home plate and foul in front of the Sonoma Stompers dugout. We'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blanchette having a pretty good start to his year so far after batting .184 for the Blues last season off 1 extra base hit, and it was a double for San Luis Obispo. 1-2, fastball missing outside. Good lead from Gio Blanchette. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Playing a dangerous game here with the count against Brian Thornton. Those 2 pitches were awfully close, that breaking ball and the fastball. 2-2 misses upstairs. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gio Blanchette. Gio was one of the 2 players to represent the SLO Blues on the South team in the CCL Showcase in Compton last year. And he makes his return to Sinsheimer again in 2024. Payoff pitch. This one's nubbed into shallow center. Everyone converging, and it will be Dasa who makes the running grab for the first out of the inning. Gio Blanchette got that one off the hands on the 3-2 pitch. Just kind of had to fight off that fastball up and in on the hands. And Dasa was able to get there on the running snag. I thought for a moment it might land in no man's territory. Abel and Rossi were coming in on it. Their palms were in the sky. But Dasa came through at the last second to get the first out of the inning. Zach Tollerman takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball. The first baseman in the 8-hole tonight for San Luis Obispo. A late ad for the Blues after playing for San Luis Obispo last season. As he rolls out of the way of that fastball, it sounded like it hit him, but it looks like he'll stay in the batter's box. 2 balls and no strikes to Zach Tollerman. And if you're a hitter and you can get away with something like that, sell it. 2-0 to Tollerman. Swung on and sent right back into the netting for strike 1. I mean, it looked convincing enough to me. I mean, there's no penalty for trying to act your way on the hit by pitch. I know it's summer ball. You want to get to hacking. 2-1, missing downstairs. Now 3 balls and 1 strike to Zach Tollerman, who is 6 of 13 on the season so far. 4 RBIs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout. 3-1 is hit hard down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Zach Tollerman strides around first base. That ball rolls into the corner. Scary's got it, and Tollerman will hold up at first base. Wow, I do not know what he was thinking. Tollerman had plenty of time to get to second as Scary had some trouble retrieving that ball in the left field corner, and there was no one at second base. Should have been an easy stand-up double for Tollerman, but he throws on the brakes at first. And now it's Sam Ardois, the 9-hole hitter for the Blues, digging in. So there's the first base hit of the day for the Blues. It's a single from Zach Tollerman, hit hard down the left field line and threw on the brakes at first as Ardois takes a look at strike 1. Ardois trying to get into a groove here after an 0-for-4 season at Texas. He's 4 of 18 for the Blues so far. There's a big swing and miss on an off speed. No balls and 2 strikes to the former Longhorn, now Ragin' Cajun of University of Louisiana Lafayette. He committed last week before Game 1 against the Foresters at Eddie Matthews Field. Just an hour away from his hometown of Moss Bluff, Louisiana. As he pops this one up, right side, Boyd's having trouble tracking it, and he grabs it. What a snag over there by Boyd at first base. It looked like he lost it in the air. He had to flip his head around and make the catch in foul territory. There's now 2 away for the Blues. So Zach Tollerman still at first base off the 1-out single, and Sam Ardois just recorded the 2nd out of the inning after popping out to Boyd at first. So Blues have now gone through the lineup for the first time, and it's E.J. Royal who reached on error to lead off the bottom of the first inning. He eventually came around to score the one and only run of this ball game. 1 ball and no strikes to the Utah Tech Trailblazer, who has been all reliable for San Luis Obispo this year and a mainstay in that leadoff spot. 1-0 is chopped on the left side. Backhand from Lazark. Throw over to first. Skips. Nice pick from Boyd. And there's the 3rd out of the inning. Sharp hit grounder over to Lazark at third, but E.J. Royal can't beat out the 1-hop throw to Boyd. The Blues leave a runner on. It's still 1-0 San Luis Obispo heading into the top of the 3rd inning. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues. Top three here at Sinsheimer Stadium. The Blues leading the Sonoma Stompers 1-0. As leading things off for Sonoma, it's the 9-hole hitter and Trent Abel, a shortstop from Cal State Northridge. So this past inning, the Blues stranded a runner on base. It was Zach Tollerman, who was unable to reach second after tripping on the bag at first, as this one sent the right side. Jeffries got it. Easy throw over to first, and there's the first out of the inning. Trent Abel is retired on the ground out to Braden Jeffries at second. Now we'll flip it to the top for Caden Dassa, who struck out swing against Logan Groff to begin the ball game, as Groff heads out there for his third inning of work. Dassa swings and sends this one out of play for strike one. So Tollerman reached on that single, the first base hit for the Blues this afternoon. And I think he tripped up over at first base and couldn't get over to second, even though there was no one covering the bag. As this one's towered into right field, Jordan Lewis calls off Royal, and he squeezes it for the second out of the inning. Easy work here for Logan Groff, as now the 2-hole hitter and Jack Scarry digs in for the Sonoma Stompers. Scarry collected the first base hit of this ball game, a single in the first inning, where he was eventually put out at second base from the double play hit by A.J. Carter. And he'll face Logan Groff here in the third inning with 2 gone. And the first pitch is a slider that misses outside. 1-0 to Jack Scarry, the left fielder from Creighton. Making the trip all the way out from the Midwest as a native from Peru, Illinois. Big-time Chicago Cubs fan, who shoots this one back up the middle. Moving to his right as Jeffries has to collect it. Nice scoop from first by Tollerman, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for the Sonoma Stompers. We head to the bottom of the third. I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues streaming network. Bottom of the third here as the Slow Blues lead the Sonoma Stompers in Game 3 of this 4-game set against Sonoma. 1-0 ball game, San Luis Obispo. His first pitch swinging is Jeffries out in left field. Ranging back is Scarry, and he makes the grab after battling the sun. 1 pitch, 1 out here for Bryant Thornton, who heads out there for his third inning of work and gets the quick and easy out off the bat from Braden Jeffries, who's now 0 for 1 on the day. Bottom of the third, and now would be a good time to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Apex Technical Sales. You can find them at glenair-apex.com. Apex Technical Sales. We're here to make you successful. Brendan Comerford, the 3-hole hitter for San Luis Obispo, digging in after flying out to Dassa in center field last time he was up. And here he is on the 1-0. In there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to the former St. Mary's Gale, now power hitter for Ohlone College up in Northern California. He checks his swing and he went around. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brendan Comerford, third baseman for San Luis Obispo, who leads the team in starts as he makes his 14th today. 1-2, skipping the dirt outside. Nicely from Comerford, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brendan has 12 hits on the season and had himself a nice road trip. Entered the road trip batting just under 200 at 194, and he left it now batting 226. Now has 12 hits, and 7 of them are for extra bases. 6 doubles, which leads the team, 1 triple, and he brought across 11 runs on those hits. So the power is certainly present here with Comerford. As the 2-2 sent to right field, that is going to drop for a base hit. Zukowski chases it in the corner as Comerford strides into second base. It's a 1-out double. Just adding to his double total. That's his 7th of the season, and he does it by going the opposite way down the right field line. Just a real nice swing from Comerford, who is typically known for his pull side power. You watch him in batting practice and you watch him in the games, and he just scorches balls to the left side. They typically one-hop the wall. It's usually a joke on the team that he's got warning track power. But this time he went with the pitch. He stuck his barrel out there. It was hit decently well, just out of the reach of Zukowski. And now a runner is scoring position for Bryson Hoyer, who steps up for the 2nd time today. And Vanencini heads out to talk to his pitcher. Hoyer, last time he was up, he walked and then was stranded at second base in the 1st inning. Runner at second, 1-0 lead for the SLO Blues. Bryson Hoyer stepping up. Hoyer, a local kid from Paso Robles, steps up with a runner in scoring position. He takes a look at ball 1 upstairs. Hoyer, the switch-hitting outfielder from Saddleback College. As the 1-0 is in there for a strike. And still trying to get the vibe of what the strike zone is going to be tonight. Some pitchers are getting called in that outside corner to lefties and righties, and some aren't. And that time that fastball was to Hoyer. As it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 look at second, now coming home. Breaking ball, that one's in there for strike 2. Hoyer this past season at Saddleback College, 30 strikeouts and 104 at-bats. Made up for it with those slugging numbers, though. The 2 doubles and 4 home runs in 20 hits for the Bobcats. Here's the 1-2. Off speed, missing upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hoyer spent last summer with the Spearfish Sasquatch in the Independence League. Got a lot of action there. 135 at-bats. Had a 708 OPS there in the Midwest. As the 2-2 is swung on and hit into right center. Coming in on it is Dasa, and he will get there. Comerford holds up at second base for the 2nd out of the inning off the fly ball to Dasa in center field. Now 2 gone with Parker Goff strolling up to the plate. 2 fly balls to center field, and those sandwich a double from Brendan Comerford, his 7th of the season. As Parker Goff, who's familiar with hitting doubles, digs in now for the Blues. And Goff has 14 in his career at the BYU Cougars in 2 seasons out there in Utah. Rising junior, graduate from Riverton High School with a runner at second as Comerford dances over there. Goff swings and misses at the fastball upstairs. No balls and 1 strike. And he doesn't just hit doubles, folks. He recorded 1 of 2 grand slams on the season for BYU. And game-winning hit to beat Kansas State 12-8. That had to feel good, huh? Comerford shuffles at second. And the 0-1 is dribbled in front of the Blues bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes to Parker Goff. Goff played in 33 games last season, 24 of them starting for the Cougars. He started 13 of the last 14 as the catcher. He stands in here now. An 0-2 count. 2 outs and a runner on second base. Taking off for third is Comerford. Here's the head first slide, and it kicks off the glove of Lazark. Comerford is able to come in home off the errant throw from Vandencini. So off 2 hits for the Blues. They now have 2 runs ahead of the Sonoma Stompers. Although it's funny, neither of those runs have come in from those hits. Comerford went to take off for third base on 2 outs. Didn't get a great jump, and honestly didn't have excellent speed getting down to third base. Vandencini just had an errant throw over to Lazark as this one's fisted into shallow left. That's going to fall for a base hit. Third hit of the day for the Blues, and Parker Goff's first of the evening. 2-0 San Luis Obispo off the errant throw from Vandencini, the second error for the Sonoma Stompers this evening. And that's been the story of this ballgame so far for Sonoma. E.J. Royal, who reached on error back in the first, came around to score the first run of the game for San Luis Obispo. And now scoring on a throwing error is Brendan Comerford. Sonoma has been handing the Blues their runs. As now digging in is Jordan Lewis, who grounded to third to end the first inning last time he was up. Now a runner on first, 2 gone here, and a 2-0 lead for San Luis Obispo. As he holds up his swing on the fastball that misses inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And I talked with hitting coach Rene Regalado before the game. The errors have been something that the Blues have drastically improved on from the first 2 weeks of the season. As the 2-0 is taken in there for a strike to Jordan Lewis. And that was a characteristic that plagued the Blues defense to begin the year. They have since corrected those mistakes. And the pitching has shined. The hitting has shined. And the Blues have overall just strung together nice at-bats and nice innings. And that's how they've been winning their games. The Blues 11-4 on the season. They're 7-3 at home. And they just finished up their nice road trip where they were 4-1 with that one loss, the one blip against the Santa Barbara Foresters. But that's going to happen when you play a talented team like that. I mean, there's minimal holes for that roster. So much talent with the Big 12 pitchers and the Big 12 hitters. So nothing too much to stress out about there. As Jordan Lewis finds himself in a 3-2 count. Here's the pitch, and it's set right back at the middle. No one's there. A base hit for Jordan Lewis. Rounding second is Parker Goff, and heading into third after he was already taken off on the 3-2 pitch. Runners at the corner now for Gio Blanchette. Back-to-back base knocks for San Luis Obispo. And with 2 gone, the pitching coach for Sonoma heads back out there to talk to his right-hander. Mike Nunez trying to get the game plan with his pitcher, Bryant Thornton, as he drags his foot over the rubber. Blues just collected back-to-back hits. And there's just something about the team this season compared to last year. There's just a certain grit you can feel in every at-bat, every inning. You never feel like they're out of it. Even when the Blues were trailing 9-0 to the Foresters, there was always this sense that they were going to be able to come back and at least string together a few hits and a few runs, and that's what they did. And another thing that they've done so well, even when they're not playing from behind, is smelling blood. And I think they're doing that now here in the third inning after that Brendan Comerford double down the right field line. Bryson Hoyer just missed that fly ball to center to Dasa as a throw over to first to try to get Jordan Lewis is not in time. Just got underneath it, and it doesn't help that the wind batted it down a little bit. I think the Blues got the hit bug with the back-to-back hits from Goff and Lewis as Blanchette takes a look at that off-speed in there for ball 1. And Blanchette, who's had a comeback season this past year, batting .315, 6 hits and 2 home runs. That leads the organization. Lewis takes off for second base as Blanchette half swings, and he went around, but there's a stolen base for Jordan Lewis, his 4th of the season, and quickly climbing up the leaderboard in the SB category for the Blues. So now runners at second and third for Gio Blanchette, who's got 5 RBI on the season. He popped out to center last time he was up in the second inning. 1-1. In the dirt, Blanchette went after it. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting DH from Fresno, California. Big lead at second base for Jordan Lewis as the 1-2 comes home, and Blanchette went after it, but he foul-tipped it right at home plate as the umpire behind the dish waves his left hand. I think that baseball might have got a piece of his finger. So Blanchette stays alive here with 2 strikes as he battles Brian Thornton in his 3rd inning of work. Blanchette crouches in his stance and waggles his birch bat behind the neck. Sighing as Thornton now coming home, and the fastball is taken for strike 3. Gio Blanchette goes down looking and strands runners at second and third, but the Blues tack on another run from the errant throw from Vanencini to Lazark. It's now 2-0 San Luis Obispo heading into the middle third of this ball game. We say hello to Ryan Giacomini. I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Last inning, Brian Thornton, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base for the Blues. As now due up for the Sonoma Stompers, it's 3-4-5, A.J. Carter, Luke Rossi, and Kyler Zukowski. As Ryan Giacomini joins me in the broadcast booth in this 2-0 ball game, Blues lead the Sonoma Stompers. Ryan, what are you seeing so far that's working for San Luis Obispo in this game?
A lot of CCL baseball, as I call it. They're producing runs without necessarily hitting the ball all that hard, especially in the first. Error, walk, balk.
As this one's fisted to shallow left field, and Bryson Hoyer can't get there as he can't glove it either, but A.J. Carter holds up at first base off the single to lead things off this inning.
Not hard hit, but got it done, got it out to the outfield grass, and gets a leadoff base runner for the Stompers, who trail 2-0.
Yeah, there's the 3rd base hit of the day for Sonoma, as they're just trying to spark up something here after their 2 errors on defense that brought across 2 runs for the Blues. Really just 2 free ones for San Luis Obispo. While they're scratching together some pretty solid at-bats, they've poked a couple hits in a row, some base hits up the middle. Brendan Comerford was able to go the opposite way, which I don't think is something we've seen at all this season, but it's still Blues leading this one from the free ones. 1-0, missing downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to Luke Rossi, the second baseman from San Mateo College.
Comerford's bat has really come alive recently. He had the 2 RBI double on Sunday and now a double today. We'd love to continue to see him get better and better throughout the season.
2-0 holds up his swing as it almost clips his elbow. 3 balls and no strikes to Luke Rossi. And I think a funny joke on the team is that Brendan Comerford has got warning track power because he hits it hard off the bat and he just can't get it to go over the fence. Outfielders will have their heels right at the base of the wall as that one's taken for strike 1 and the 3-0 count. I always like to joke with him just so, hey, man, put an extra protein scoop today. Maybe an extra creatine scoop. You never know.
And to go along with that point, his double he had in Sonoma on Sunday, one hop the wall.
Exactly. And it's funny seeing it in BP as well. You hear the loud contact off the bat, and you're like, ooh. And you turn over, and the outfielder shagging and left just trots a little bit right in front of the warning track, and he catches it right there. 3-1 missing inside, and there's a walk to Luke Rossi. Now back-to-back base runners for the SLO Blues and Logan Groff.
We have seen Groff struggle with his command a little bit here early in this ball game, but he has been able to clean it up and get out of innings without any damage. Second time that the Stompers have had 2 runners on in this ball game, and their second time with runners in scoring position. Yeah,
and that was back in the second inning. He led that off with a K and then led back-to-back base runners there. He had collected 2 strikeouts after that, both looking, and then in the third inning, it was just a breeze for him. 3 up, 3 down, 2 grounders to second base, and a very weak pop-out to right field and Jordan Lewis. But now he works here with runners on first and second, and Kyler Zukowski, who takes ball 1 upstairs. Zukowski this season, 2 hits, one of them a double, and 21 at-bats. Here's the 1-0. Swings and sends this one to right field. Lewis has to go back on it, ranging towards the wall and making the grab, as tagging up from second is A.J. Carter. He gets the third safely on the productive out from Kyler Zukowski. Deeply hit fly ball to right field.
Yeah, productive out indeed. That ball was hit very hard by Zukowski. And he moves A.J. Carter over to third. Got his job done, and now it's up to Vanancini to bring that run across.
So the first run of the day for the Sonoma Stompers, just 90 feet away from Jack Vanancini. The first time they've had a runner on third base this evening, as they're at the corners for Sonoma. Vanancini dodged out of the way of that fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. Last time the catcher from San Jose State was up, he was a part of those back-to-back base runners in the second inning. He walked and then was eventually stranded at first base. Throw to first, not in time to get Luke Rossi. 2-0 ball game in favor of San Luis Obispo. 1 out, 2 runners on, 1-0 count to Vanancini. Groff comes home. That fastball's in there for a strike.
Good job to get back in this count. Last thing you want to do is walk them loaded with 1 out early in this ballgame.
As the shadows begin to eclipse the infield at Sinsheimer, the 1-1 comes home from Groff, and it misses upstairs to Vanancini. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and although the shadows are bad here, we were talking to hitting coach Rene Regalado before the game, and he was saying the ones in Sonoma are 10 times worse, as they kind of cover right in between the pitcher and the batter.
2-1 is swung on, and chaotic finish there for Groff. I thought they'd maybe call catcher's interference because his glove came off trying to catch that ball. And I'm not exactly sure what point of contact made the mitt come off of Goff's hand. The umpire also grimacing as well as he took his mask off in pain.
Well, I think what happened is it was foul tipped off of Goff's glove and hit the umpire's face mask, which is why the mask popped off and also Goff's glove popped off.
As now the third base coach for Sonoma having a chat with the home plate umpire, making sure he's okay. Taps him on the left arm. And now the umpires will have a meeting in front of the mound.
I think they're looking for catcher's interference like you just mentioned, because why else would the glove fall off? It was hard for the umpire to see with the ball coming right up at his face is what it presumed what it looked like to me happened.
Yeah, it's tough to imagine that a foul tip has enough velocity on it to take the mitt off of Parker Goff. But, maybe he could have been at the very end of the mitt, but they'll say no interference here. And we'll play on with a 2-2 count to Jack Vanancini.
If it was catcher's interference, Vanancini did not do a good job selling it to try to get on base.
No. 2-2. Slider missing outside. That will fill up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Vanancini. And players from both sides tonight would not get an Oscar, a Golden Globe, nothing. Guess that's why they're on the diamond. Payoff pitch from Groff. Softly hit down the first base line and foul. We'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a very good job by Groff. The last thing you want to do is throw ball 4, walk them loaded, as I mentioned. Throw a strike, make them earn it, especially up 2-0. You're okay giving up 1 run as long as they earn it.
Here's 3-2. Is taken off for second is Rossi, and this one's popped up over the press box. We'll do it once again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
A little hit and run there with 1 out and the runner on first.
Shuffling back towards first is Luke Rossi. As here's the best pitch from Groff. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. So that'll fill up the bases for the Sonoma Stompers with 1 out away here.
That was very, very close, maybe in that 50-50 zone, and it just goes the hitter's way that time. Walks them loaded. Now really Groff is in a huge jam as there's no action in the Blues bullpen, just some guys stretching. So it'll be Groff's battle to get out of.
Groff would really like to collect his 5th strikeout of the day here after allowing the 2nd walk of the afternoon to Jack Venancini. That fills up the bases. 2-seam fastball in there for a strike against Brady Boyd, who struck out looking his last time up. Corners playing in with the bases loaded. 1 out here, 2-0 lead for San Luis Obispo. Boyd up, and he takes a look at the off-speed in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Good block there by Goff. He has to be an absolute wall back there with that runner on third.
Go-ahead runner at first base, and Jack Venancini. As Groff comes home, and this one's chopped in the infield. Ardois got it, flips over to second, throw to first is not in time. The first run of the day comes home on the fielder's choice from Brady Boyd. It's now 2-1 San Luis Obispo.
That was just a really tough play to get a double play on because of how high it was chopped. Ardois had to wait for it to come down, flipped it over to Jeffers, and then there was nothing he could do to get the out at first.
All you can really do is just wait for it to come down. I mean, you can try to hop up and get it, but it's not going to save you that much time. As a matter of fact, it might mess up your footing a little bit, as the first pitch to Jack Lazark is taken for a ball upstairs.
With a 2-run lead, you're also okay exchanging a run for an out. You'd like to get out of the inning right here, keep your lead, and then get the bats back up there.
Here's the 1-0 to Lazark, taken there for a strike outside corner from Logan Groff. As a left-hander gets loose in the Sonoma Stompers bullpen in a 2-1 lead for the SLO Blues. Stompers just got their first run of this game. Here's the 1-1. Fastball by him for strike 2. Runners at the corners for the Sonoma Stompers. It's Rossi at third and Jack Venancini at first. Brady Boyd at first. Here's the 1-2 from Groff, missing outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just need to find the strike zone. Similar situation as he was in against Venancini. You don't want to walk them loaded and give the Stompers a better opportunity to score runs.
Here's the 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Sonoma Stompers strand 2 runners on, but they do get 1. It's 2-1 SLO Blues heading into the bottom of the 4th. I'm Nate Mills with Ryan Giacomini on the SLO Blues streaming network. New pitcher in for the Sonoma Stompers. It's Carson Glavich, the left-hander from Cumberland University, entering his junior season. Brian Thornton's day is done. 3 innings pitched, 3 hits. There's 2 errors and 2 runs given to San Luis Obispo. He was able to strand 5 runners on base for the Blues, as Zach Tollerman will be the first hitter for the Blues to see the new left-hander for Sonoma. As the first pitch is in there for a strike. Tollerman, last time he was up, recorded the first base hit of the day for San Luis Obispo, was stranded at first base after a pop out to first and a grounder to third. No balls and 2 strikes to the former UC Riverside Highlander. Here's the 0-2. Skipping in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tollerman. Tollerman, born and raised in Berkeley, California. Spent his junior college years up the street at Cuesta with the Cougars. Did a lot of damage there and spent last season with UC Riverside. Has entered the portal since. As the off-speed misses inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Tollerman.
And he has been swinging the bat really well this summer. Not a lot of power, but he is batting .500 at this point, so he's getting on base.
2-2, missing upstairs to Tollerman. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, entering this game, Ryan, he was 6 of 13 with 4 runs batted in. More walks and strikeouts, just 2 versus 1. That's always the telltale that a hitter is seeing it well. Here's the payoff pitch to Tollerman. That one's chopped, and infield comes in on it. Abel throw over to first. Can't scoop it is Boyd, and reaching safely is Zach Tollerman. There's the second hit of the day for ZT. He's 2 for 2. And now 8 of 15 on the year for Zach Tollerman.
Yeah, he's doing a really good job getting on base. We've seen him in the bottom 3 of the lineup, I think every time that he's played, but he's doing a good job getting things going for that bottom part of the order. He gets on base again here for Ardois.
Looking to be a spark plug here for the SLO Blues as they gave up the first run to the Stompers last inning. They want to add some more insurance and run away in this game. Showing bunt is Ardois, gets it down. Nice bunt down the third base line. Coming in on it is Lazark, and the throw is not in time. Textbook bunt from Sam Ardois to get Tollerman over to first, or second.
That was a beautiful bunt. Just put it right down the third base line, kept it off the dirt so that it didn't roll foul off that grass, and just legged it out to first base. It also looked like Lazark had a tough time getting it from his glove to his hand, had to double pump, not in time. Blues are in business.
And it's really tough how thick that grass is in the infield as well. It dies down a lot, but once it hits the dirt, it picks up a new life, and the ball just had a mind of its own and just knew that it had to stay on the grass for San Luis Obispo. First pitch to E.J. Royal is taken outside. 1 ball and no strikes. E.J. is 0 for 2 on the day, reached on error in the first inning, came around to score the first run of the Blues this afternoon. Then he grounded over to third base for the third out of the second inning. Always here with runners on first and second, and a 1-0 count to the new pitcher. Takes the off speed downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes to the leadoff man for the Blues.
E.J. Royal is not someone you want to fall behind to. He will take advantage and slap the ball, find some outfield grass, and bring Tollerman around to score. Really good opportunity with the top of the order to get some runs across.
And in last season with the Utah Tech Trailblazers, his first year playing Division I baseball, he had 114 at-bats and 5 doubles in that time. Just so far in this season, in 15 games, he already has 4. Played in 47 last season. Fastball just missing outside. 3 balls and no strikes to E.J. Royal.
He tried to make it 5 on Sunday, but he was thrown out at second. So he got in a 2 for 4 day, he only reached base safely once.
3-0. In there for a strike. Identical pitch to ball 3, but it's called for strike 1. Back-to-back hits for the Blues, and there's runners on first and second, and E.J. Royal in a hitter's count. Here's the pitch. That's a fastball taken for strike 2. So after 3 straight balls to Royal, new noodle, and Glavich goes back and throws 2 strikes in a row. Outfield shaded to the right side on the 3-2. Sent to the right side. It's a grounder to Rossi. Throw over to second for one. Throw to first. Not in time to get E.J. Royal. So a fielder's choice that retires Sam Ardois at second base. But Zach Tollerman reaches third, and E.J. Royal is aboard.
Overall, productive out, getting that runner over to third without recording 2 outs. Now it gives Jeffers a chance to bring a run across via the sac fly or the hit.
Jeffries in his 2 plate appearances today, a walk where he was stranded at third base and a fly out to center field. And he showcased his power with the Academy Barons a few days ago with a 380-foot bomb down the right field line that just took off the bat in what was an explosive debut for the left-handed hitter going to Michigan next year. Here's the 0-1 to Jeffries. Off speed, nubbed into right field. That's a base hit. Zach Tullerman can easily stride into home, and the 3rd run of this game for the Blues from an RBI single from Braden Jeffries.
A really good piece of hitting by Jeffries. He saw the off speed out of the hand, sat back on it, and pulled it through the 3-4 hole for a base hit and the 3rd run of this ballgame.
Yeah, just a little bit off the hands from Braden Jeffries, but it got the job done. Not the loud barrel that we know he can pick up. But now it's a 3-1 lead for the Blues, and now Brendan Comerford, who had a double down the right field lineup, digs in for his 3rd time today. Comerford dodges out of the way of that off speed as Jeffries dives back towards first for ball 1. Comerford with that double in the 3rd eventually came around to score on a throwing error as he was attempting to steal third in the 2nd run of the game for the Blues. Fastball missing outside, 2 balls and no strikes to Comerford. One of the main power hitters for San Luis Obispo this season.
Yeah, leading the team in doubles and extra base hits, and he's 2nd in RBIs.
Here's the 2-0. Comerford swings and misses for strike 1. Curveball just goes underneath of the barrel on the power hitter from Pleasanton, California. Runners on 1st and 2nd, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Double steal, no one's home at second base. A bang-bang play over there as Jeffries is in there with the stolen base over at second base, and so is E.J. Royal at 3rd.
Interesting to go to 2nd on that. EJ already has a stolen base. Maybe the catcher knew he had speed, thought he had a better chance to get the runner out at 2nd. But very interesting to go to 2nd there and not try to get the lead runner.
Yeah, and it didn't look like Rossi was prepared for that throw either. He did a good job of making up for it and hustling over to the bag. He almost tagged out Jeffries as Comerford spoils that one over the bullpen foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think the most impressive part about that is this is actually Rossi's 1st game back after suffering an ankle injury and missing 5 games.
And for that, he planted his foot in the ground awfully well to get over to the bag. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Comerford. He swings and touches this one out to left field. Going back on it is scary. He camps underneath it as he battles the sun. 2 runners tagging up. E.J. Royal can get there easily for the 4th run of this ball game. Sacrifice fly from Brendan Comerford, and it's 4-1 Blues.
A very good at-bat from Comerford to get the sacrifice fly and get the run across. Exactly what you were talking about his last time up. Needs that extra scoop of protein. That ball was just about 10, 15 feet short of the wall out there. That extra scoop in the morning might get him that ball over the wall.
And it's funny because it seems to jump off the bat so well. I feel like the fans and even us up here in the press box get excited when we hear his loud contact, especially in left field. And it just hit a wall up there in the sky. But it got the job done with the sacrifice fly. 2 outs and a 4-1 lead for San Luis Obispo and a 2-run inning for the Blues.
That one was 90 off the bat of Comerford.
Hoyer loses his bat as he checks his swing, and coming in is Jeffries to score. A very uncomfortable swing from Bryson Hoyer. The ball skipped away from Vanencini. Jeffries saw an opening, and he took off to score the 5th run of his game.
Good job by Jeffries to have heads-up base running there and come home. He's getting a pretty big lead with no hold over at third base and able to take advantage.
And to be able to read the ball getting past the mitt of Vanencini with the bat flying at you down the third base line, it's pretty impressive. As the fastball's taken outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Bryson Hoyer, the switch hitter who is batting right-handed against the new left-handed relief pitcher. Hoyer in a 2-1 count takes a look at strike 2. In his time at Paso Robles High School in his senior season, he played in all 26 games and batted .347. As the 2-2 is hit hard down the left field line, and that's going to be foul. Just barely foul for Bryson Hoyer as he really caught a hold of that barrel.
Really hard hit off the bat, but just turned the barrel a little too quickly and hit it foul. 104 off the bat of Bryson Hoyer.
Yeah, that was smoked, and as a hitter, you just have to hit reset there and can't think about what could have been. Now you just have to look forward to the 2-2 pitch right here. Missing upstairs, fills it up to Hoyer, 3 balls and 2 strikes, who walked and flew out to center today. Klavich comes set on the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Taken for strike 3. Off speed on the outside corner for Bryson Hoyer. He doesn't like it, but the Blues get 3 runs, and it's a 5-1 ball game heading into the top of the 5th. I'm Nate Mills with Ryan Giacomini on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Top 5 after the Blues have an answer for the Sonoma Stompers. After they let up 1 run in the top of the 4th, they responded with 3 in a blow-up inning off the new relief pitcher in Klavich for the Stompers, as Carson Groff heads back out there to face the 9-hole hitter Trent Abel, as Abel takes a look at strike 1. It's 9-1-2 for the Stompers. Abel with Caden Dassa waiting on deck and Jack Scarry in the hole. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the shortstop from Cal State Northridge. One sent on the right side. Jeffries has got it. Throw to first. Plenty of time for the first out of the inning. Some awkward skips over there to Jeffries at second base, but he caught it on the correct hop and was able to make the candy throw to Tollerman at first for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Jeffries is getting a lot of work out there at second base, but he's doing a really good job corralling the ball and getting it over to Tollerman.
So now we'll flip it to the top of the order. Sonoma Stompers have gone through the lineup twice, as first pitch swinging is Caden Dassa for strike 1. He struck out swinging to begin the ball game and then popped out to right field in Jordan Lewis. He's 0 for 2 on the day, the center fielder from Yale. Groff kicks and fires on the 0-1. Checks his swing on the slider. Did he go? Yes. Really uncomfortable swing. That looked like it hurt his elbows off the wicked slider from Logan Groff. No balls and 2 strikes to Dasa. The Bulldog with an open stance in the batter's box takes a look at strike 3. 6th bottle of hot sauce for the day for the SLO Blues. And Logan Groff's got 2 outs here in the 5th inning. And he was in control of that at bat the entire time, getting the uncomfortable swing from Dasa, getting him to look at that two-seam fastball all the way. He was just in control over the Bulldog for the 2nd out of the inning. Jack Scarry with 2 gone. Looks at the slider, taken for a strike. Scarry had the first base hit of the evening, a single back in the 1st, and a grounder to 2nd in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 2 on the day.
Groff doing a good job after giving up the run in the 4th to pound the strike zone.
Frisbee slider missing outside, 1 ball and 1 strike to Scarry. Left fielder from Creighton, who just had 1 at-bat with the Blue Jays last season as a sophomore. As a true freshman, he redshirted out there in Nebraska. 1-1, taken upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Scarry was ranked by both Prep Baseball Report and Perfect Game as Illinois' number 4 ranked shortstop in the class of 2022. And it earned him a spot with the Blue Jays at Creighton, playing out there in Omaha. 2-1, nice fastball in there for a strike, clipping the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jack Scarry.
Groff at 67 pitches here with 2 outs in the 4th inning.
Bullpen empty for the Blues as he comes home on the 2-2. Another slider skipping in the dirt. Good block there by Goff. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Would love to get out of this inning, stay right around that 80 pitch mark through 5, maybe even go another inning of work if his arm is feeling up to it. He'll probably get the decision from Dean Traynor if he can get out of this inning sooner versus later.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss as he climbs the ladder for strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Logan Groff. He heads back into the dugout as he maintains the Blues lead 5-1 heading into the bottom half of the 5th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues streaming network. Bottom of the 5th, and now would be a good time to remind you that Richardson is the official hat of the CCL. Both teams in tonight's contest are rocking Richardson hats, and they will be doing so for the remainder of the season. Richardson, the official hat of the CCL. Middle of the order for the San Luis Obispo Blues, Parker Goff, Jordan Lewis, and Gio Blanchette out to face Glavich for his 2nd inning of work as Parker Goff taps this one back foul. No balls and 1 strike.
Last time up, Parker Goff had a really good base hit the other way. Got it going for the Blues in that 3rd inning.
Yeah, good loud barrel for San Luis Obispo as he holds his hand tight in front of his right armpit And he swings and sends this one down the left field line. That's a fair ball out the diving attempt from Lazark. Rounding first and heading towards second is Goff. There's a leadoff double for the Blues.
Really good piece of hitting. Just yanked it down that third baseline. Picks up extra bases to lead off this inning. One thing, Nate, that we've talked about a lot on the broadcast since the beginning of this year is how many catchers there are on this roster. And Parker Goff has been someone that has really caught our eye as one of the better hitters of that bunch, and he's proving it day after day and getting that starting spot now behind the plate.
Yeah, right now the two front runners for that catcher spot, it seems to be Nico Button and Parker Goff. They've both been very productive offensively for San Luis Obispo, and then really defensively as well. They've been good backstops for the Blues. As Jordan Lewis holds up his swing for ball one. And yeah, that wasn't necessarily scorched down the third base line, but it was just enough to wrap around the bag and get out of the way from Lazark diving at third base. So now it's Goff at second. On the 1-0 to Jordan Lewis, that's taken for a strike.
Yeah, to go off that point of it not being scorched, it was only 89. It was just hit in the right spot down that third baseline. A good diving effort by Lazark, but unable to corral it, and a leadoff double.
Here's Jordan Lewis on the 1-1. Really early on that off-speed pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, just in between with his timing right there on the off-speed. Couldn't stay back and get the barrel to it and falls behind.
1-2 to Lewis with a runner on second base and a 5-1 lead over the Sonoma Stompers. Here's the pitch from Glavich. Another off-speed early again. This time got a little piece of some bat on it. Fouls it away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A better job that time, too. Even though he started his stride and load early, keep that barrel in the zone for longer and foul it off to stay alive.
We now got our right-hander getting loose in the Slow Blues bullpen. It looks like Hunter Hammond, who has started 2 games for San Luis Obispo this season, now coming out of the bullpen. Look over at second. Now comes home to Lewis, who sends this one to right field. Playable for Zukowski. Tagging up at second is Goff, and he'll get going towards third. The throw is very high and offline. Another productive out for San Luis Obispo. That's the 3rd time we've seen runners from second tag on pop flies to right and get to third safely.
Yeah, a good piece of base running to get over to third with now 1 out and give Giovanni Blanchette a chance to drive in a run.
Blanchette looking for his 6th RBI of the season. He leads the team in home runs with 2. He's got six hits, and that fuels his .315 batting average. Pretty solid start for the outfielder from Fresno City College. First pitch swinging, sent out to left center. Ranging is scary, and he'll be able to get there. Tagging from third is Parker Goff, and he'll score off the sac fly from Gio Blanchette.
Attacks the first pitch, hits it hard into the gap. A really good job getting the runner home in a hurry. 6-1 Blues now.
Real solid barrel there from Gio Blanchette, and I love his approach, ambushing the fastball. This is a pitch we know he can handle. We saw the way he hit it at the academy down there in Compton. Pretty identical pitch to that home run. I'm sure if we were at that ballpark, it might even go over the fence the way the ball was flying out there. But really good approach from Gio Blanchette to hit it hard and bring in a run on the sac fly.
I think the left fielder, Scary, got a little bit lucky, too, with the way the wind is blowing. I thought that ball had a chance to get down, but it just kept blowing right to him, and he was able to corral it in the left center field gap. Fighting
a lot of elements, the sun in his eyes, the wind blowing the ball up in the air, and it was towering as well from Blanchette. A lot of time in the air to think. Do you know how bad that could be, thinking? It's not fun. 2 balls and no strikes to Zach Tollerman, who's 2 for 2 on the day, 2 singles. Huge swing and a miss at that off speed up in the zone. 2 balls and 1 strike to Tollerman.
Glavich is favoring that off-speed pitch heavily here in his 2nd inning of work.
Yeah, and he's getting very early swings from these Blues hitters. They just want to pounce on it, but they have to not leak over that front side. As there's an off-speed, Tollerman holds up, but it's called a strike. 2-2 to Tollerman.
It's not a bad approach from Glavich. Early in his outing, the hitters were probably coming back saying fastball, 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 and now he's going to the changeup and the slider.
Here's the 2-2. Slider just missing downstairs. That'll fill it up to Zach Tollerman.
Really good take by Tollerman. He dropped his eyes to watch the ball, stuck beneath the strike zone.
Payoff pitch from Glavich. Here it is, and it's hit on the left side through for a base hit for Zach Tellerman. 2-out knock for ZT, and he's 3 for 3 on the day.
Zach Tellerman just getting it done. That is his 3 hits today. Came into the game with 6. Makes it 9 on the season. No extra base hits, but he's just getting on base, allowing Sam Ardois in that 9 spot to do something. What it also does in that 8 hole is, especially with 2 outs, even if Ardois gets out, that means next inning you're going to have 1, 2, 3 with the red-hot E.J. Royal leading off. So he's doing a good job at least flipping the order.
The way Dean Traynor constructed the lineup just gives you a chance to have some life in the bottom of the order with Tellerman and Ardois, who's in search of his 6th hit of the season. So far, he's 5 of 20 to start off his career with San Luis Obispo. He popped out to third in the 2nd inning, and he's singled in the 4th. As he takes the off speed outside, first strike, no balls and 2 strikes to the Raging Cajun.
Ardois has struggled a tiny bit getting hits early in this season, but a really good job getting on base. A shot, or just at 390 coming into this game, so probably a little bit over 400 now with the base hit earlier in the game.
The native of Moss Bluff, Louisiana, calls time and now steps back in. Short lead from Tellerman at first base. Here's the 0-2. Off speed, taken outside from Vanencini, who has to get that one off the ground. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ardois.
And if Ardois can reach, we know the damage that E.J. Royal, wearing number 50 on deck, can do. Getting a runner in scoring position for him is dangerous.
1-2, softly hit on the left side. Running grab from Lazard, throw to first. And the scoop from Boyd retires Ardois for the 2nd time today. The Blues strand a runner at first, but the damage has been done as Parker Goff comes around to score on the sac fly from Gio Blanchette. It's 6-1 San Luis Obispo heading to the top of the 6th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New noodle in for the San Luis Obispo Blues. Logan Groff's day is done. Nice outing from the right-hander from Fresno State. 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 3 walks and 7 strikeouts for Groff, who wraps up a solid outing. And now coming in for his 4th appearance of the year, it's Hunter Hammond. He has started in 3 games for the Blues so far, And in 9 innings pitched, he's allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 12 strikeouts, and just 5 walks for a 4 ERA and a 1.33 whip. He's been a solid starter for San Luis Obispo. Hasn't gone too far, and it starts to make sense that Dean Traynor has him coming out of the bullpen as just 9 innings pitched and 3-game start for the Blues. Hammond comes in to relieve Logan Groff in a 6-1 ball game. SLO has the lead in the 6th inning as San Luis Obispo tacked on another insurance run in the 5th from a sac fly from Gio Blanchette.
Very good outing from Logan Groff, only allowing the 1 run, striking out 7 batters. Interesting to see what Hammond will do coming out of the bullpen. We've only seen him start so far. He's done a pretty solid job with a 4 ERA and a 1.33 whip. So it's a new spot for him. It's very different coming out of the bullpen rather than starting. You're sitting down for the first 4 innings, and then you get up, start getting loose, throwing some bullpens. And now you have to face an order that's, A.J. Carter has already bat twice today and has a hit and a run, something he doesn't usually see the first time through an order.
3-4-5 for the Sonoma Stompers, and leading things off, it is A.J. Carter, who takes a look at strike 1 down the middle of the plate on the fastball. It's A.J. Carter, the only left-handed hitter tonight for the Stompers, then Luke Rossi and Kyler Zukowski. Hammond steps off, right back onto it, and from the windup, he comes home to A.J. Carter. Fastball by him for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed DH from San Mateo. Hammond working quickly here as he gets right back on the rubber after delivering a fastball that lives around 84, 87 miles per hour. 0-2, misses inside. That was the first time we saw the off-speed from Hunter. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Carter. Hammond buries his face in his teal glove. Now comes home and misses way upstairs. Goff has to stand up for that one. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hammond gave up 1 extra base hit in his high school career. And that's a check swing foul from A.J. Carter. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 extra base hit and 454 at-bats according to Max Preps. It was a home run in his junior year. 2-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Hunter Hammond comes out of the bullpen and records a strikeout on the first batter he sees in A.J. Carter. He went downstairs with the curveball, and that's what scouts seem to rave the most according to Prep Baseball Report. You see it all over Twitter. The curveball flashes depth, coming in there at 72, 74 miles per hour, and he got A.J. Carter to fish after it for strike 3. Here's a slider from Hunter Hammond. That misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Luke Rossi, who's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk in the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0 to Rossi. Fastball down the middle of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. So in the scouting report here, it says that he has no slider, but it looks like he's working on it here as he just threw it to Rossi for ball 1 in this at-bat. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, popped way up in the air, but out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hammond, no stranger for the Blues. Before he started 3 games for San Luis Obispo this year, he also made some relief appearances for San Luis Obispo last year in 9 2/3 inning pitch, allowing 8 earned runs and 6 strikeouts. Softly hit to short in Ardois. He's got it, throw over to first. Plenty of time to retire Rossi for the 2nd out of the inning.
One thing we have seen from Hammond in his 3 starts as a Blue is he gets a lot of soft contact. All the runs he's given up are usually just soft hits that find holes. Right there, he gets soft contact. It goes right to Ardois and gets the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, and his velocity pretty average for the college level, but it's all about the placement of all of his pitches. And now that it appears that he's added a slider to the repertoire, that just gives him more depth out there on the mound and more tools to go to in his back pocket as the fastball first pitch to Kyler Zukowski is in there for strike 1. Hammond on the 0-1 delivers another fastball down the heart of the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Zukowski, who's 1 for 2 on the day. A base hit in the second and a soft fly out to Jordan Lewis in the 4th. Here's the 0-2 from Hammond off speed in the dirt. Nice pick from Goff behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Zukowski played both days in Sonoma for the Stompers and didn't hit the ball out of the infield, and today he has done it twice, including a base hit.
1-2, missing downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Madison, Wisconsin native. Up tall in the right-handed batter's box. Here he is on the 2-2. Swings and fouls this one straight back. We'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zukowski was ranked among his class as the 4th best outfielder in Wisconsin by both Perfect Game and Prep Baseball Report. Now he's here in the 2-2 count against Hammond, and he pops this one up, and it looks like it will be out of play. Good jump from Parker Goff throwing off the mask. He was right at the netting to make the grab, but it just sneaks over the netting.
The tough backstop to make a play as a catcher. It's so deep. He really has to get that mask off quickly and run very hard to that netting if it's going to be anywhere near it to try to make a play.
And you have no support as well for your footing, too. Typically, you see a padding near the bottom part, near the dirt. It's just straight net for the catchers to play with. 2-2, off speed, just missing outside. That will fill it up to Kyler Zukowski, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Goff tried to frame that one and get it back in the zone to get that called strike 3 for his pitcher, Hammond.
Payoff pitch, in there for strike 3. Hammond goes with the slider and goes 3 up, 3 down in his first inning of work. We head to the top of the 7th inning, 6-1 San Luis Obispo on the Slow Blues streaming network. Carson Glavich's day is over for the Sonoma Stompers. Now a new right-hander in. It's Hawk Hill, the right-handed pitcher from Cumberland University, in for relief, the 3rd arm that the Blues will see today from the Stompers. Glavich in his outing today, 2 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. So leading things off for the Blues, it's 1-2-3, E.J. Royal, Braden Jeffries, and Brendan Comerford starting things off here in the 6th inning as they lead the Sonoma Stompers by 5, 6-1.
And Hawk Hill, one of the more character-like players that I've ever talked to. I interned with the Stompers the last 2 summers. Hawk was there last year. I saw him the other day, and he called me a traitor because now I'm here with the Blues. But a really great guy. and was really solid for the Stompers out of the bullpen last summer and has done a really good job so far this summer as well.
Here he is on the 1-0 to E.J. Royal, and it misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Ryan, I just have to say, and if Hawk listens to this later, we're happy to have you here.
Yeah, sorry, Hawk. Had to make the transition.
Personally, I think you're in a better place. The 2-0 to E.J. Royal misses outside. 3 straight balls to the leadoff man for San Luis Obispo. Royal, who is batting .448 for the Blues this season, leads the team in average and hits, searches for his first hit of the evening. 3-0, taking all the way, 4 straight balls, and a leadoff base runner for San Luis Obispo off the walk to E.J. Royal.
Any way you can get it, especially with E.J. Royal, all that speed over there at first, he's a threat to take second base.
11 stolen bases on the year for the Trailblazer from Utah Tech. As Braden Jeffries steps up now, he's 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a walk, a stolen base of his own. RBI single make that. And that plunks him in the back of the right leg. Immediately takes off the shin guard and hobbles over to first base on the hit by pitch to Braden Jeffries. Back-to-back base runners for the Blues, both from the free ones.
Not a bad spot to get hit, better than the low back or a calf or an ankle.
Yeah, you got the meat there on the back of the leg. Although the hammy is exposed. That's not fun. As Brendan Comerford, who is 1 for 2 on the day, steps up now and he takes a look at the fastball for strike 1. Comerford flew out to center and then doubled in the third and had a sac fly in the fourth to bring home Braden Jeffries. Here's the 0-1. Comerford, huge swing and miss on a pitch that was never in the zone for strike 2.
One thing Comerford has been better with is getting ahead in the count. Falling behind 0-2, it's hard to make or get hits, but he has done a better job getting ahead in the count and getting those hits.
He finds himself here behind, no balls and 2 strikes to the new pitcher, Hawk Hill. Off speed is hit on the left side. The shortstop Abel's got it. Throw to second for 1 in time. Throw to first. There's a 6-4-3 double play as E.J. Royal advances to third.
A hard hit ball just right at the shortstop Abel. The rough at bat from Comerford, who had that sac fly in the fourth and a really good double in the third.
Comerford able to throw a bat on that one. Looked like he was a little out in front. Very handsy swing as Abel got it on the perfect hop. Made the easy flip over to Rossi at second for 1, then to Boyd at first for 2. So now 2 gone here and a runner at third base for San Luis Obispo as Bryson Hoyer steps up for the 4th time today. Now batting left-handed, the switch-hitting outfielder from Saddleback College, Paso Robles native, just 30 minutes up the street from Sinsheimer. From the windup, here's Hawk Hill. Hoyer swings and hits this one down the left field line and foul. Infielders retreating back to their spots, and they adjust to that foul ball from Bryson Hoyer, who's 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout looking, fly out to center, and a walk in the first. Off the hands on the right side, Rossi's got it, throw over to first, plenty of time, and the side is retired. The Blues go quietly, and the bottom of the 6th inning will head to the top of the 7th, 6-1 San Luis Obispo. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. 6, 7, 8 for the Sonoma Stompers as Hunter Hammond heads back out there after going 3 up, 3 down to Sonoma. 2 strikeouts, one of them looking in his first inning of relief for the Blues. The first time he's coming in to relieve a starting pitcher this year for San Luis Obispo after starting 3. Changing some roles a little bit now as more arms come in, more reinforcements for Dean Trainer's pen. And Hunter Hammond, one of those guys, having to shapeshift here. And he did a good job so far in his first inning of work as this one's hit hard down the left field line, but it's way foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to the leadoff man this inning. It's Jack Vandencini. One ball and 1 strike to Vandencini. Off speed, missing downstairs, 2-1.
Really good 1-1 changeup by Hammond. A good setup pitch. Go in the same tunnel as a slider or even a fastball.
2-1, broken bat, flare down the right side. Tollerman ranges for it. He's got it, and with the 2-hand grab, there's the first out of the inning.
And he went with the fastball. Relatively similar spot, just didn't have that changeup drop.
And if the Stompers are spending the night here in San Luis Obispo, they ought to make their way down to the Oceano Dunes to use that broken bat for some firewood. So now it's Brady Boyd, the 7-hitter. First baseman from Westmont College, facing his future teammate. First pitch fastball taken inside to Brady Boyd. Hammond from the windup. Here it comes. There's a slider missing outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Both these players playing for the Westmont Warriors, who are the 2023 NAIA champions. There's a big swing and a miss from Boyd for strike 1. Boyd has only had 1 at-bat so far this season in the early year with the Stompers. He's got 2 tonight. He's 0 for 2, strikeout looking, and a fielder's choice as he looks at ball 3 downstairs. 3-1 to the first baseman, who bends at the knees and awaits the offering. Half swing, softly hit to Zach Tollerman, who just take it himself and tap the bag for the second out of the inning. More soft contact from Hunter Hammond, his bread and butter.
Yeah, that's really what he is the best at. Makes sense he's getting that soft contact, getting little rollovers and pop flies that are just really easy plays for the defense and collecting himself easy outs.
The 2 outs this inning have come from a broken bat pop fly and a half-swing dribbler to Zach Tollerman at first base. First pitch, another nubber, but it rolls foul. Parker Goff picks it up right near the first baseline for strike 1.
And Hammond isn't pounding the strike zone. He has recorded 5 straight outs, 15 strikes to 11 balls. Usually you'd like to see that strike number up a little bit higher, but he's just producing soft contact even when he falls behind in the count.
So with Zach Lazark here, the 8-hole hitter who has struck out twice this evening. He's down 0-1 to Hunter Hammond, who comes from the windup. Changeup clipping the outside corner for strike 2. In his first season with the Santa Clara Broncos, he has 2 strikeouts and 4 at-bats. As this one skips in the dirt, good block from Goff behind home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Had 1 start for the Broncos last season at Santa Clara. He played in 10 games and was 0 for 4 with those 2 Ks. Here's the 1-2. Goes upstairs, holds up his swing, evens it up now, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Lazark also some pitching appearances for Santa Clara as he sends this one right back up the middle, a base hit. There's the 4th knock of the day for the Sonoma Stompers, and some life here with 2 gone in the top of the 7th inning.
Maybe Lazark getting back on track after striking out looking once and swinging once. A 2-out base hit. As the Stompers in business who are down 5 runs and need to start collecting runs now in order to come back against this Blues team.
A single off the end of the back that squeaked over second base. And now a medium-sized lead for Lazark at first as the 9-hole hitter Trent Abel takes a look at strike 1. 2 grounders to second for Trent Abel, the shortstop from Cal State Northridge.
His only hit over the weekend against the Blues was in his first at-bat on Saturday.
0-1's a slider that misses downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike.
No action in the Sonoma pen down the third baseline, but there.
From the stretch, Hunter Hammond gets his sign and comes set at the belt. Kicks and fires on the 1-1. Big swing and a miss and fouled right at home plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Abel wearing the Northridge red batting gloves. Bright cherry on the fingertips as he digs back in the box and awaits the 1-2 offering with 2 gone here, and a runner at first base trailing by 5 to the SLO Blues in the top of the 7th inning. Hammond clips the outside corner for strike 3. There's the 3rd K of the inning for Hunter Hammond as he takes his time walking back into the dugout. Blues still up 6-1. It's time to stretch. For Nate Mills, for Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on SLO Blues Streaming Network. Bottom of the 7th, and I think now would be a good time to remind you that this half inning is brought to you by Studio Design Group Architects. You can find them at sdgarchitects.com. That's Studio Design Group Architects. For 40 years, they've designed buildings with one thing in mind: people. 5-6-7 for the SLO Blues as they lead the Sonoma Stompers 6-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fans still idling at their seats after the 7th inning stretch. Very mellow one, as usually the kids sing it. We had the pre-recorded track this time, and we spared the eardrums of fans at Sinsheimer as Parker Goff takes the first pitch for strike 1.
Yeah, I preferred today's version over the kids singing. I don't mind if it's 2 or 3 singing, but we had like 40 of them singing, and it's so off tune.
Well, speaking of kids, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, it's summer now. The kids are out of school, right? Tomorrow night is luau themed. If you come to a Blues game dressed in your best Hawaiian garb with the flower shirt and the flower necklace, maybe a straw hat, maybe a coconut bra if you want to go crazy, you get discounted Blues tickets for that evening, and it's just a fun time for the kids to dress up, and even you, parents as well, can dress up and have some fun at the ballpark as the Blues play the Stompers tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock once again, as there's an uncomfortable swing from Parker Goff for strike 2.
Yeah, you'll catch Nate and I up here in the broadcast booth with our Hawaiian stuff on, getting our luau on up here in the broadcast booth.
If you can't make it out there, Ryan and I will be sharing the spirit over the YouTube broadcast. 2-2, sent straight back, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. I want to talk about what I'll be wearing maybe, but I don't want to spoil it.
No. You should save it.
I should save it?
Yeah, maybe a teaser.
Maybe a teaser?
What's your favorite part of the outfit?
See, man, I'm really boring. I did have a Hawaiian shirt, but now I just have a T-shirt that just has a floral print on it. As this one softly tapped up the middle, ranging to his left is Abel. Here's a throw on the run. It's wide right, and Parker Goff is on first base with an infield hit.
Not a very hard hit ball by Goff, but over the head of Hawk Hill, who was backpedaling, trying to get the ball, and a tough play from Abel. Made a good effort to try to get it over there, but Goff has his third hit of the day, 3 for 4.
Yeah, don't look now, but Parker Goff is 3 for 4, a double and 2 singles, quietly having a very good evening for San Luis Obispo. So a leadoff base runner for the Blues in the 7th inning, and now it's Jordan Lewis, who's 1 for 3 on the day. From the stretch, here's Hawk Hill. Slide step comes home to Jordan Lewis, and he takes strike 1. Yeah, I don't know. I used to have a shirt. I'm a very plain guy, you know.
Yeah, I know.
It's not flashy. Maybe a coconut bra is in order, but we'll see.
I got to think. I don't know if I have my Hawaiian shirt in my wardrobe here. I might have to go run over to Target or something and get a shirt for tomorrow. I'm thinking, I know I have one, but I don't know if I left it at my home in Petaluma, California.
Party City always has got a good selection.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get some Lays for our internship team here, too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Grass skirt.
You never know.
Stay tuned.
We'll give you an outfit of the day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
During the game.
Little OOTD. That was fun last season. When the Blues came around to score a run, they would throw a straw hat on the guy who was coming in into the dugout. 0-1 to Lewis. His foul straight back. No balls and 2 strikes to the outfielder from Santa Clara. One of our many theme games we've had this season with the SLO Blues. And the second one of the year coming up tomorrow, Luau night. Be there or be square, 6 p.m. at Sinsheimer. No balls and 2 strikes. Breaking ball just missing outside to Jordan Lewis. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Man, that was awfully close to take with 2 strikes.
And our TrackMan system, which isn't always accurate, had that pitch right down the middle.
So he gets a new life on the 1-2. Same pitch, little high that time. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Lewis.
Similar spot, that one missed a little bit higher.
Living on the edge with a runner on first. No one gone. Bottom of the 7th inning and a 5-run lead for the Blues. Hill comes home, and this one's chopped by Rene Regalado, the third base coach. And foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jordan Lewis just wrapped up his 2nd season at Santa Clara. They're on the quarter system, so they ended school a little late. There was a moment there in the first 2 weeks of the season where he was commuting from Santa Clara and to SLO and back for finals week and the last week of classes. It was an academic grind, but now it's nice to just worry about baseball here.
Yeah, I remember he was here the weekend going into finals, then drove home after the game so that he could make his final on Monday, and then came back the next weekend after he had completed his finals.
Racking up the mileage on his car and the RAM in his brain to study for his classes.
Yeah, the night before a final, you're out on the out on the field doing your best to win a game in a blue uniform.
Life of a student athlete. Nothing new for Lewis as he gets ready on the 2-2. Fastball missing upstairs, fills it up, 3 balls and 2 strikes. One left-hander getting loose for the Sonoma Stompers as they trail by 5. Very short lead from Parker Goff at first base. 3-2, very softly hit to Rossi at second. He makes the throw on the run in time to retire Jordan Lewis and that 6.57 60 speed.
Really good play by Rossi, who I mentioned earlier, is coming off an ankle injury, just charged that ball, tagged the runner, Parker Goff, and then threw it over to first to get the speedy Jordan Lewis.
Yeah, and he made that play so quick, it looks like he kind of just threw his glove out there just to throw it out there. I didn't realize he actually made contact with the runner and Parker Goff at first. So a very heads-up double play from Rossi, who, like you said, is coming off that ankle injury, but has looked very athletic over there at second base.
Yeah, really good play to get 2 outs. If you're Hawk Hill and the Stompers, you want to keep this at a 5-run ball game, which is manageable to come back and try to win this.
Gio Blanchette for the 4th time today. Fly out to center, strikeout looking, and a sacrifice fly in the 5th. First pitch swinging and flares this one up and out of play for strike one. I've talked about the resurgence that Blanchette has had this season after batting 184 and 49 at-bats last year for the Blues. Had one extra base hit to his name. Already has 2 home runs in this early season. As he takes a look at strike one, he's already surpassed his hit total, or he's rapidly approaching his hit total of 9 from this past season. He has 6 right now. Here's the 0-2 to Blanchette. Holds up his swing as the fastball is taken upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's not an everyday guy at this point, still trying to figure out who the everyday designated hitter is going to be, but he leads the team in slugging with those 2 home runs.
From the windup, here's Hill, off speed, taken downstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the decision for Dean Traynor might have just been easier, as it is rumored that Taylor Holder, who has been seen a lot of action at the designated hitter spot, has left the SLO Blues. So a vacancy in that spot, as many players compete for that place in the order for Dean Traynor's Blues.
And Holder, somebody who came in with 14 home runs in Reno. We expected him to come and hit with that kind of power, and it just never really showed up. He finished his time as a Blue, supposedly at least, with 7 strikeouts.
Payoff pitch to Blanchette. This one skied in the air, playable in the infield. The pitcher, Hill, is calling it, and he grabs it for the 3rd out of the inning. I'd be lecturing Lazark there, but he squeezes it for the final putout, and it's 6-1. San Luis Obispo Blues heading into the top of the 8th. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the SLO Blues Streaming Network. Top of the order for the Sonoma Stompers as they look to try to cut into a 5-run deficit over the SLO Blues in Game 3 of a 4-game series. Blues are trying to win this series tonight as we head into the top of the 8th inning. 1-2-3 for the Sonoma Stompers. Hunter Hammond stays out there. First pitch swinging, and it's rolled foul down the left field line. Strike one to Caden Dassa, who is 0 for 3 on the day. 2 Ks and a pop out to right field. Fastball missing upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike from Hunter Hammond, with the Blues bullpen empty and a left-hander still going for the Sonoma Stompers. 1-1 from Hammer, off speed, hit in the air to left field. Going back on it is Hoyer at the wall, and he can't make the grab. It hits off the wall. Heading into second base is Dosa, and there's a leadoff double for the Sonoma Stompers. The first extra base hit of the evening.
Good way to get this inning going, needing to make up runs and make them up in a hurry. I thought that ball had a chance to go off the bat. It kind of shot, and as you know here in Sinsheimer, the ball just kind of dies no matter where it is. And that one just died right in front of the wall. Hoyer made a good effort at it, but unsuccessful on catching it, and Dosa has a leadoff double.
It stayed in the air for a long time, and now it's that time for my obligatory comment about the twilight sky. I say it every single time we get to this point in the evening. Balls that are hit in the air and you get the weird in-between lighting like this, they're going to get lost in the sky. And frankly, from our vantage point in the broadcast booth, I lost it myself. I can only imagine what Bryson Hoyer was going through with his head bobbing, with the feet moving. But there's a leadoff double, as showing bunt is Jack Scary, and he pulls it back for ball 1.
Interesting decision to bunt here, down 5 runs in the 8th. You need runs now. You don't want to trade an out for a runner moving 90 feet further.
1-0 to Scary is taken for a strike. Scary is 1 for 3 this evening. A base hit in the first hit of the day for either club. Grounder to second and a strikeout swinging. Now he works here with a runner on second base. A 6-1 game. This one's popped up, softly hit into shallow right. Jordan Lewis has got it. He waves his arms, and there's the first out of the inning as he throws a dart to Ardois.
Showing off the cannon. We know he has it. That perfect game, I believe, has his outfield throw at 97 miles an hour. Yeah. No need to throw it that hard, but why not?
Hey, man, don't run on me. That's what he's saying. Let him know. So it looks like there's a pinch hitter in for A.J. Carter. It's Andrew Bonfigli, the catcher from San Francisco State and a native of Sonoma.
His hometown team, the Stompers.
Bonfigli, 1-0 against Hunter Hammond as he takes the fastball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes.
You mentioned the twilight sky just a few minutes ago. It is a beautiful sunset here over the hills at Sinsheimer Park. A lovely evening for some baseball. It has cooled down quite significantly, but still a lovely evening.
2-0 is hit into left center field, and Ardois is going to make the catch, ranging back. What a snag from the ULL shortstop for the second out of the inning.
Let's take another look at that. I thought that ball had extra bases written all over it, but Ardois was able to range back over his right shoulder and make the grab and get that second out of the inning.
So now after Bonfigli pops out to the shortstop and Ardois, it's now Luke Rossi for his 4th time today. He's 0 for 2, strikeout swinging, he grounded to short, also walked in the 4th inning, and he takes strike 1 from Hammond. So after the leadoff double from Caden Dasa, it's back-to-back pop-outs for Hunter Hammond. 2 pieces of soft contact as the 0-1 is swung on and missed for strike 2.
Luke Rossi has struggled early in the CCL season, just 1 for 7 with a pair of RBIs.
He was 13 of 53 in his last season with College of San Mateo Bulldogs. Before that, he didn't play with the USF Dons in San Francisco. 0-2 from Hammond is swung on and missed for strike 3. Hunter Hammond gets his 4th bottle of hot sauce this evening. The Sonoma Stompers strand a runner at second base, heading into the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-1 Blues. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. New pitcher for the Sonoma Stompers as Hawk Hill's day comes to an end. A lefty in for Sonoma. They went right-hander, left-hander, right-hander in for Sonoma. It's Jake Verweel, the SF State Gator, comes in now in for relief as his Stompers trail by 5 to the Blues in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's 8-9-1 for San Luis Obispo. Zach Tollerman, Sam Ardois, and then E.J. Royal. Tollerman has been perfect this evening. A 3-for-3 day, 3 singles, 1 run scored, and 104-mile-an-hour base hit through the 5-5 hole last time he was up. Very solid contact from the former UCR Highlander who has entered the transfer portal. First pitch missing up and away for ball 1 to ZT.
Came into this day with a 462 average, and now he's 3 for 3, so that's only gone up today.
1-0 is taken for a strike. Now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And I thought my player analysis hat, I thought if Zach were to start lifting the ball in the air that he would see tons of success, because last year when he struggled with the Blues, he was pounding it straight into the ground. It was easy plays for the infielders to make, and he doesn't have the speed really to leg out those infield hits. He has the strides because he's so tall. They're at 6'4". But he's kind of proven me wrong. Even within this game you can look at, he's hitting the ball hard on the ground and he's poking it through holes for base hits. As the off-speed misses inside, 3 balls and 1 strike to Tollerman.
And one thing you have to be good at if you don't make hard contact is placing the ball wherever you want it to be, and Tollerman's done that really well, placing little blue pits here and there through the infield. I mean, there's a huge gap up the middle right now, so I assume if he's going to place the ball, that's where he wants to place it.
Outfield shifted to the right. Zukowski playing very shallow in right field, and there is a walk to Zach Tollerman, who flings his bat in front of the Blues dugout. That's the 4th time he's reached base safely this evening.
Very good day for Tollerman. He doesn't have any RBIs, or he has a run, but he's not producing runs in the form of RBIs, but getting on base, allowing Ardois and then the top of the order and Royal and Jeffries to get it done.
Sam Ardois, the Louisiana kid, stepping up for his 4th time today. He got his first base hit of the day back in the 4th inning. A single as Verweel comes home, and Ardois takes it for ball 1. He also popped out to third and grounded to third as well. Popped out to first, excuse me. Made an incredible play at shortstop as well, ranging back, making the backhanded snag from the softly hit blooper in shallow left field. 1-0 is taken on the outside corner for strike 1 to Sam Ardois. He entered this game 4 of 18 with 2 doubles and 2 runs batted in. Tollerman standing straight up at first, medium-sized lead. As Verweel takes a look at first. And now another as he comes home on the 1-1. Ardois swings and misses for strike 2 on the breaking stuff.
Walks have been an issue for Verweel early in this season, 5 of them up to this point with a 9 ERA, so walking Tollerman is probably not what he wanted to do in his first plate appearances.
He's up 1-2 against Sam Ardois as he double takes at first. Now comes home, and Ardois spoils this one out of play. Do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cotton candy sky here at Sinsheimer as the summer nights are in full effect in San Luis Obispo. Warm days followed by chilly nights as the fog rolls in. On the 1-2. Dodging out of the way. That fastball inside is Ardois. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sam steps back in. Bending at the knees. Tapping his left foot. Antsy with the bat right near his right ear. And he dodged it out of the way of that one as well. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Same exact spot on the fastball from Verweel, and Ardois having to dodge out of the way twice.
The leadoff man and E.J. Royal waits on deck as Tollerman gets his lead at first with the oven mitt strapped on his left hand. And he picks over the first. Tollerman was going on first movement. The throw gets away. Tollerman takes a look in, and he holds up at second, now takes off for third. He's able to walk into third safely as Tollerman stole a bag, and the error on the throw from Verweel. All of a sudden, Tollerman's at third base.
Yeah, he had him picked off. Just got a little antsy, threw the ball wide. Actually almost hit the base umpire over there. Tollerman got to second, then took third when he saw that the ball was all the way out by the bullpen tent.
So now a runner at third with no one gone, and now a 3-2 count to Ardois. Here's the pitch from Verweel. That one skips away, and Tollerman can just trot home as Ardois gets the walk. And that walk hurts, or that pass ball hurts that much more from the errant throw by Verwheeler, and the third error of the evening for the Sonoma Stompers.
Verweel is going to have to find his command if he's going to want to be successful in the CCL. 7 walks in just 2 innings pitched. That run will go down as an unearned run, fortunately, because of the error. But you need to throw strikes in order to get outs. That's the name of the game.
Back-to-back walks as the leadoff man E.J. Royal steps up for the 5th time today. He walked himself back in the 6th inning. Also reached on fielder's choice and reached on error, and he scored those times. He also grounded out to third. 1-0 to Royal, and it's a fastball missing outside. Snap back to throw, try to catch Ardois sweeping, but he gets there in time. 2 balls and no strikes to E.J. 7-1 Blues under the lights at Sinsheimer. As it becomes darker here and the lights come on, the moon shines bright. Here's the 2-0, in there for a strike. 2-1 to E.J. Royal. And I like doing this, Ryan. I like looking at the moon when it's at this time of day and really at any point in the night. And I like guessing the moon percentage. Do you know about that?
I do not.
Moon percentage. It's how full it is. As Ardois takes off for second base, and it's hit on the right side. Backhanded play from Boyd at first, and Verweel can't get there in time to cover the bag. Everybody's safe. So E.J. Royal with an infield hit. That's his first knock of the day and his 23rd base hit of the year. So taking off for second base was Ardois. E.J. Royal put it in play. Boyd ranged to his right, tried to make the backhand, and Verweel, I don't know where he was. He must have lost his footing or just didn't get to first in time. Couldn't beat out E.J. Royal to the bag, and so everybody's safe. 3 base runners in a row for the Blues.
It doesn't help E.J. Royal shot out of a cannon to first base. It was actually really heads-up play by Boyd. He faked like he was going to toss to first to see if Ardois was going to round it, and then looked back, and Ardois stayed on the bag, but had a chance maybe to get Ardois at second.
Jeffries, first pitch swinging, fouls this one up and out of play. So that's what the moon percentage is how percent full is the moon. And if you were to look at the moon right now, what would you say the percentage is?
I'm going to say like 82.
82?
What's your guess?
That's a pretty good guess. I'm thinking 80s as well. As the 0-1 to Jeffries is taken outside corner for a strike. You know what? I'm gonna look at this. And for the fans at home, just take a peek outside really quick and just gaze at the moon for just a second. Try to gauge the percentage of how full it is. I just love looking at this is what I do like when I'm out in public. I look at the weather app. This is what I'm looking at. Is this one sent the other way in for a base hit? Zach Tollerman getting the wave around to score. Actually, that's Ardois getting a wave around to score. And an RBI single from Braden Jeffries, his second hit of the day, his second RBI as well.
Really good piece of hitting from Jeffries to get an extra run on the board for the Blues.
And once again, it's that soft contact. We know he can just scorch a ball. We saw it in Compton. But 2 soft contacts for him today and 2 base hits, 2 RBIs. Whatever gets it done, as Sam Ardois came around to score from second, and now at third is E.J. Royal. Runners at the corners for Brendan Comerford, who's 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch to Comerford, taken outside for a ball. 88%.
88%.
Yeah, final guess.
87.
Oh, man. Don't let the kid get hot.
You've clearly practiced before.
Check swing from Comerford for strike one, 1-1 to the third baseman from Maloney College.
Now this is going to be an everyday thing.
It has to be.
Every night game, and I'll get better throughout the year.
There you go.
82, not the greatest guess. 5% off.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I would.
That's your first time. That's not bad. Hit hard down the left field line, but hooking foul for Brendan Comerford for strike two.
Very loud strike two. 95 off the bat of Brendan Comerford.
Yeah, hooking barrel that perked the ears of everyone here at the stadium. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball slipping out of the hands of Verweel for ball two. Nothing to be ashamed of for your first guess.
Official attendance today, 1,307. My guess, 1,308.
Dude, you may not get the moon guess, but that is wild.
I was debating too. I wanted to go in the high 1200s. I was thinking
that's what I did.
Yeah, I was thinking 1290 something, and last minute I was like, you know what? Let's go above 1300. Second time I've been one away.
Wow.
Second time. That's pretty impressive.
Now the interns every game here at Sinsheimer go around and ask each other what they think the attendance guess is, and that's revealed at around this point in the ball game as Comerford goes down swinging. And there's the first out of the inning, a strikeout to Brendan Comerford. And so Ryan has just been on fire this evening. As he said, the second time he's gotten it within one, which is ridiculous. I worked here last year as well. I've never seen anything like that.
Hopefully I can keep up this red-hot start to my summer. I'm guessing. I'm the E.J. Royal of guessing the attendance.
Honestly, I'd rather get the attendance guess correctly than the moon percentage. First pitch to Hoyer is hit hard to center field. Going back on it is Dosa, and he leaps and makes the grab. How did he make that catch as E.J. Royal tags from third? And another run for San Luis Obispo.
Yeah, a really good play by Dosa. Hoyer's upset. That would have been extra bases had it got down. I mean, here's another look. Kind of hard to see out there, but he just leaped up to make that grab. And then E.J. Royal came home for the sacrifice fly.
And Hoyer got a nice piece of lumber on that one. I think out of the box, he thought it was extra bases, and frankly, I did as well. And Dosa couldn't really see it, and we've talked about the sky a bunch and how late it's getting at night, and it's a bit dim out there in the outfield. Misplayed it, but the nice grab totally bailed him out for the second out of the inning. It's a sac fly now as Parker Goff takes ball one outside. And what is now a 9-1 ball game for the Blues.
And you have the hottest hitter of the night in the box, 3 for 4 with a double, a pair of singles. Parker Goff has been getting it done in that right-handed batter's box.
And dodges out of the way of that fastball. 2 balls and no strikes to the catcher from BYU. And Goff, as you said, 2 singles, a double. Came around to score on the double. And a pop out to second base tonight. Long hold from Verweel. Here's the 2-0. Skied into center field. Dosa sees it, claps his glove, and squeezes it for the third out of the inning. The Blues tack on 3 more runs. It's now 9-1 San Luis Obispo. They look to close the door in the top of the 9th inning. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. Hunter Hammond looks to finish out the middle of the order for the Sonoma Stompers and put a bow on a potential win for San Luis Obispo and a potential series win for the Blues as well over the Stompers. Hammond comes home and misses upstairs to Kyler Zukowski, the right fielder from Creighton, batting fifth for the Stompers this evening. He's 1 for 3 on the night, a single back in the second, a fly out to right field and a strikeout looking. And he takes a look at ball 2 in the dirt. 2-0 to Zukowski, the right fielder from Madison, Wisconsin. Hunter Hammond buries his face in the glove and comes home on the 2-0. And there's 3 straight balls to Kyler Zukowski, who on Creighton's website, when asked who is Creighton's biggest baseball rival, he said Xavier. But his teammate, as he takes strike 1, his teammate Jack Scarry, also from Creighton, also a Blue Jay, says it's Nebraska.
Maybe just a difference in opinion right there.
They got to get on the same page. You got to know your enemy. As there's ball 4 to Kyler Zukowski, a leadoff base runner in the 9th inning. I think it's interesting that you have to ask.
Yeah.
And it's got to be Nebraska, right?
I would think so.
Same state.
I mean, I feel like that's asking, like, a Giants player. Who's the biggest rival? And one of them says Dodgers, and the other one says, like, Diamondbacks or Padres.
Yeah.
Like, it's obviously the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, Xavier, Big East rival. They are in the Big East. Those hoop games are always competitive.
Yeah.
But baseball, I don't know. 1-0's taken for a strike to Jack Vanencini, catcher from San Jose State.
Yeah, and they're both redshirt sophomores. Maybe it would make sense if one of them was like a junior and that first freshman year they had a bad experience with them.
Yeah. 1-1 hit off the end of the bat, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And speaking of Creighton, the College Baseball World Series happening at their home field right now at Charles Schwab Field in Omaha. Snapback throw to first, not in time to get Kyler Zukowski at first base. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Vanencini. Hunter Hammond from the stretch deals with Jack Vanencini, who's 0 for 1 on the day, and softly hits one to left field. Hoyer coming in on it, and he can't get there. A bloop single for Vanencini and back-to-back base runners for the Sonoma Stompers in the top of the 9th inning.
Down 8 runs, the Stompers just have to piece together hits and keep the line moving to come back in this ball game. There's no eight-run swing that can happen from anybody in this lineup, so they just got to keep it moving and get runs across the plate.
That's the first knock of the day for Vanencini as the Vandenberg Air Base launches a rocket, and the fans ooh and ah as the phones turn on.
Now you can see it just slightly on your screen over that second light from the left. Those little dots flying up is actually a rocket. It's very cool. Vandenberg Space Station, Air Force Base is just about, maybe an hour from here?
Just about. I think Space Station is cooler, too. As we can see the orange dot in the sky right there. Very cool sight here at Sinsheimer. The fans getting treated to some baseball and some rocket launching.
Yeah, I see about at least 300 phones out recording. Nobody is watching the game of baseball right now, including us.
That is no longer the focus.
I had no idea it was 0-2.
Here's 0-2 to Brady Boyd. Fastball missing upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That is a really cool sight to see.
Now, I'm no aerospace engineer, but I'm waiting for the point to where it detaches. And I remember last year when we saw this with the Blues, there would be like an extra like cloud of smoke.
Is it that right there?
No, it's like a bubble shape near the top. Growing up in San Diego, we saw these launches all the time, and everyone's like, is this aliens?
Tilt the camera up so you guys can continue to see it.
See that. Starting to lose some flames there. As here we go. This is the smoke bubble I'm talking about. Stay tuned. So 3 straight balls after getting up on 0-2 to Brady Boyd. Now a payoff pitch to Hunter Hammond with a runner on second. Breaking ball taking downstairs. 3 base runners in a row for the Stompers. And now the infield's going to have a talk with their right-hander.
Wow, that is really a cool sight.
There's the detach right there, folks.
My only question is, it looks like it's moving horizontally.
That's just the globe. See, look, there's the bubble cloud that I'm
Wow.
talking about.
Let's make sure you guys can see
Yeah,
that.
look at this. Get the cam up. Yeah.
Look at that, right up next to that 87% filled moon.
So,
Whoa.
yeah. See, look, yeah, there's the detachment. And who am I? I'm a broadcaster that knows nothing about it. I'm a journalism major. And trying to explain to you what's going on with this rocket, but
Yeah, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to ogle at it.
pretty incredible stuff. Phones are still out, by the way.
Including mine.
And let me just say this. I don't want to be, a buzzkill here. But when are you going to watch that video? Like, it's on your camera roll? Like, are you going to, go home tomorrow? Or, a few weeks from now? As this one's hit to short. Ardois got it. He taps second for one on the first for two. And the Sonoma Stompers do get one run off the double play. Ardois taps it himself and goes over to Tollerman. There's now 2 outs in the inning, and the Blues are 1 away from the W.
You never know. Maybe we have some fans out here come back to a game, and they're like, hey, I remember the last time I was here, we saw a rocket ship take off.
Yeah.
And then they go back through their camera roll, and they watch that video.
Then that's it, though.
You never know. The thing is it's the same thing as it's just a memory that you have, and at some point that memory might pop back up into your brain, and then you go and watch the video again. I mean, I've taken plenty of photos in my camera roll and videos that I've never looked at, but at some point it might pop up in my life and be relevant.
What do you think the half-life of that video is on the camera roll? Like when you're going back, I'm out of storage. This one can go.
Yeah. Yeah. At some point, some of them just gotta go to the deleted folder.
Here's some more info on that rocket. It's a SpaceX rocket. The 20 Starlink satellites on Falcon 9. That's the name of that rocket, Falcon 9. They're launching 20 Starlink satellites into the atmosphere.
Wow.
Elon getting it done.
Yeah.
Hunter Hammond, 1 pitch away from ending this ball game. A runner on third. 9-2 lead for the Blues. Swung on and miss. And that's the game, folks. The Blues take the series over the Sonoma Stompers 9-2 in a 12-hit effort that brought across 9 for the Blues. And everything just worked well for San Luis Obispo tonight. They only had to work through 2 pitchers. Logan Groff went 5 innings, 7 strikeouts, only allowing the 1 run. Hunter Hammond allowed his first run on that double play that we just saw. And they just held down the Stompers. The Blues just suffocated them this whole evening.
Yeah, they got out to an early lead and never looked back. It was 2-0 before the Stompers scored for the first time, and then right as the Stompers did score, the Blues are like, nuh-uh. They scored 3 of their own.
Exactly, and that's what the Blues have been doing well this season. They've been having scrappy at-bats and have been able to scratch across those runs. I think a characteristic that is refreshing to see, especially after last season. It seemed like they'd either get down and they would not be able to come back, or they would have difficulties even beginning games. But the Blues got going in the bottom of the first inning, and they tacked on 2 runs and then had an answer for when the Stompers put up 1 in the 4th. They responded with 3. 2 crooked 3-run innings for San Luis Obispo, and they're looking awfully healthy right now.
Yeah, they are. We were talking with our general manager, Adam Stowe, before the game, and he said this team just looks way better than it did last year. We have better ball players, better pitching, better hitting. It's better all-around baseball. And it's really fun to watch, whether you're in the stadium or just watching online. It's a really fun brand of baseball to see guys come in every day, put up 12 hits and 9 runs. We saw it in Sonoma, too. They had 8 on Saturday, and then they only had 3 on Sunday, but were able to hold the Stompers to 1 and get that win. That's 3 in a row for the Blues.
Winning streak for San Luis Obispo. They improved to 12-4 on the year. And they are now 5-2 in conference play and top 3 placement in the CCL North. Looking awfully good early on in this season. And they look to play the Sonoma Stompers tomorrow in Game 4 of the series for Luau Night. Be sure to come out in your Hawaiian garb, whether that be the coconut bra, the straw hat, the grass skirt, whatever. You can get discounted tickets and watch the Slow Blues potentially sweep the Sonoma Stompers right here at Sinsheimer Stadium. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this edition of Blues Baseball, Game 15 of the season. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Game 16 right here on the Slow Blues Streaming Network. For Ryan Giacomini, I'm Nate Mills. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.